Hello everyone and welcome to Whisky Wednesday. Very relaxed attire as you can see here. It's been a very long day. There's like a massive rainstorm outside and I've spent 2 days doing DIY, so now I'm in relax mode. And during that relax mode, I'm here to talk to you about Macallan Intense Arabica, which won't focus, but now it will. I've been calling this thing Rich Arabica for ages, but I keep forgetting they change it. We have a box here, and we also have a bottle. This isn't mine, it's my friend's, so I won't be opening that. But thank you very much indeed, Paul, for lending me this. Very kind of you. I'll put this back. Just got it so I could take some pictures of it for the Instagram and all that. However, the sample in my glass I found on this website. This is from the Sample Guys. And big shout out to those folks as well, because I ordered these maybe in like the second to last week of the shopping period in December. And even with postal strikes, they managed to get them to me relatively quickly. Picked up a cool sample of Long Row, some of the kosher Buffalo Trace series. I thought the rye was delicious. The bourbon, the wheated bourbon was really good too. And there's another one, I think it's a Glengarry, like a Fino cask Glengarry. But essentially, I found it really difficult to find that bottle. Still haven't managed to get my hands on one, purely to taste. And these guys managed to get me a sample. So I will link their website below. By all means, if you're in need of a sample of something particularly rare and a bit unusual, hit them up. But onto the whiskey. The follow-on from last year's release of the Rich Harmony, the Cacao series, which we reviewed last year. And there was 2 releases in that. We had the Rich Cacao and the Fine Cacao. The Fine Cacao is travel retail only. Same story with these. We've got the Intense Arabica, which is this red bottle here. And we've got the Smooth Arabica, which is a green labelled bottle and box, which is again only available in travel retail. I doubt I'll ever get to try those, but if the Sample Guys get samples, I will happily try and review them. But inspired by coffee, and indeed there is like a nice little swirl on the front of this to give you an idea of what the flavour profile of it is. A little bit of the blurb on the back. I'll try and find like the important bit. Our whiskey maker Steve Bremner has taken inspiration from the Arabic coffee bean from Ethiopia, which is said to be the birthplace of coffee, and developed a whiskey aged in both European and American oak casks, which delivers notes reminiscent of divinely sweet yet strong espresso. 44% ABV. Like all Macallan, it is natural colour. Chill filtration level unknown. But yeah, here we are. The packaging too is also recycled like coffee husks. The box last year was like really flimsy and it just dented if you pressed it too hard. This one seems a bit firmer, although I won't press it too hard. And there it is in the glass. See if I can move my head out of the way. Lovely colour. Kind of classic Macallan colour really. It's got a nice like gingerbready orange colour to it. To smell. Smells good. Smells pretty classic Macallan, if I'm being honest with you. I remember reviewing the Rich Cacao and these words exactly what I said. It reminds me of what Macallan 12-year-old used to be. In the metallic red box it used to come in. I loved that whiskey. This too has that kind of nose. And not want to take inspiration from the flavour profile on the front. But there's this nice kind of weighted collaboration between chocolate orange, which is like a classic Macallan thing, and red fruit. Now on the box here it says forest fruit, but I'm getting more of almost like a tart raspberry kind of thing to it, possibly even strawberry. The nose actually reminds me quite a lot of Macallan Edition No.5, which I got loads of like raspberry shortbready notes from. And they say European and American oak casks on the back of the box, but I'm assuming it's all sherry. So it's American oak and European oak, which is stored sherry previously, and then the whiskey's gone into it. There's even like a nice brambly black currant, blackberry, yeah, more blackberry, not blackcurrant thing in it too. I'm not really getting the coffee thing. Like, I'm looking at the box now and it's cappuccino, tiramisu, vanilla. I can't really say I'm getting any of that. It's significantly fruitier than I thought it would be. And by all means, I know that different coffee beans can give you different aromas. I remember smelling this bag of coffee that a friend bought and it just smelled like blueberries. So maybe this fruity thing isn't too out of the way when it comes to Macallan. Yeah, I mean, it's been in the glass for about half an hour and it just smells like Macallan. I think the RRP for this was it 140? I think it was. I remember people queuing up on Macallan's website to try and get it. See if I can give you guys a little glimpse of the body of this thing. Not the thickest Macallan in the world, but it's only 44%. I remember people coming into the shop where I work and be like, have you got it? Have you got it? And I was like, no, it's Macallan's website only. And their phones just had like a loading screen. I think Macallan are now fully prepared for when they release new products. But I must say, not a lot of coffee at all for me. There's a slight bitterness in the back of it, but I think my mind jumps to dark chocolate rather than it does to roasted coffee. I do like coffee and I do enjoy espresso. But I wouldn't say like I'm well knowledged in the world of coffee and the different aromas that you can get. Let's taste it. Okay. Ooh. That's the first whiskey I've had today. I've drank a fair bit of whiskey in the last couple of weeks. But that's good. I really like the finish. The finish is very interesting on that. Initial arrival, the mouthfeel is actually quite thick. I wouldn't describe it as oily, but it's got like a nice consistency to it. The initial flavour straight away, again, are more of these sort of forest fruit, blackberry. Again, like tart raspberry kind of notes to it. I don't really get any gingerbread or vanilla or tiramisu or cappuccino even, really. As you kind of whirl that around your mouth, these darker, more heavily roasted flavour profiles start to come in. And indeed, that does remind me quite a bit of like some of the best espresso I've ever had in very nice restaurants. There's a nice brown sugar element to it. And almost like it was kind of deeper, darker sweet flavours, things like maple. And like honeycomb and kind of very dark caramel and toffee. And having smelt it again after having tasted it, there is slightly more of that roasted coffee thing now. I always think it's important to re-smell it after you taste it, just so the whiskey is in all of your senses. You know what? This thing really does remind me of quite a lot of the Edition series. My bottle of Edition 5, which was the purple one, I loved it when I opened it. And then I retried it, and I think like the first or the second lockdown, I think it was the second one, I killed the bottle. And it had this very intense burnt note to it. I just don't think it sat well in the bottle. The finish, which I did enjoy the first sip, is moving slightly more towards that now. It is a long finish, and it does have some nice, like a European oak tang to it, like these very sort of drier, more savoury sherry notes. There's a nice tobacco note, actually, kind of right at the back, like cigar leaf sort of thing. It's a long finish, but I don't particularly like it. And the smell is nice, but I think outside of the forest fruit thing, which is a welcome change to what I normally expect from Macallan, the chocolate orange thing, classic. It's not really setting my world on fire. And even me, as somewhat of like a novice coffee drinker, to smell that, and even after having tasted it, it smells a little bit like coffee, but it's not like coffee, you know. Whereas the cocoa one was, yeah, it was quite chocolatey, but I suppose that's not difficult to do if you mature whiskey in sherry casks most of the time. It's nice. It's not £140 a bottle, but I think we all knew that already. I can't remember what I gave the Harmony Cacao. I think I gave it like an 8, maybe an 8.5. I don't think this one is as good. I think I'm gonna drop this to like, I don't do like 7.9s or 0.8s or anything. Like a 7. It's not a 7.5, but it's not quite an 8. So I'm gonna say something. No, it's like a 7. It's like a 7.8. Round up, you can call it an 8 if you want. But it's not a very, I don't think it's a very impressive whiskey in any way at all. I think it's just nice. And I wonder the eternal question, what it would be like if it was bottled at 46. Or maybe even 40. Because at 40, I wonder if some of those more astringent bitter notes that I'm not a fan of wouldn't be there. But yeah, I mean, if you bought this and you opened it, fair play to you. I'll be giving that bottle back to Paul. I do have another one of these samples as well, and one of those is for him because he did me a favour a while ago. But it's a perfectly fine whiskey. It's not going to blow your mind. I'll give it a 7.8. But thank you all much for watching. Thank you all much for watching. That's how long of 2 days it's been. Thank you all very much for watching. I'm going to go and kick back with a cocktail and a film, and I will see you all next week. Cheers.